Profesor Macabro, Profesor Macabro.
Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, here again to regale you with a movie review. Yes, indeed. Debatably controversial movie review, but this movie was controversial when it came out originally. Yes, indeed, it was going to be a big, epic, Roman spectacular extravaganza of arts and titillation. Describing the story, well, a fan-sized version of the life of Caligula. Yes, indeed. And, it was during the beginning of the Age of Excess, and it was financed, if memory serves me right, by the guy that owned Penthouse, so he wanted big, lavish sets, and boy howdy did he get big, lavish sets. But also, once he saw the production, he liked what he saw, but he wanted to add a little bit of titillation, a little bit of eye candy, if you will, a little bit of what made his magazine famous. So he added a lot of pornographic scenes to it. And a lot of the actors and people that were involved in it, they said that this cheapened the work that they had done. That they felt offended that they would do this to the epic artistic vision that was being made in said movie with the reshoots with the porn. But it was still a box office success. It got listed into, your video nasties, and I think it got listed in your video nasties, but for sure got blacklisted because of the porn, you see. But it still was very successful, but a lot of people, of course, it's not their cup of tea. Yes, indeed, and Professor Macabro, your friend and pal, owns the blue release in snapper case. This is the unedited, unrated cut of Caligula. And this is, of course, the one that has all the hardcore porn in it. The one that's frowned upon, like, oh, no. But, yes, it is Penthouse. Yeah, right there. But this has a running time of 1 hour and 56 minutes. Because it's what was released, you see. Yes, indeed. And then later releases were like, well, we can't really sell that in a lot of places. Let's release an R rating. And this is the red cover of Caligula. Yes, indeed. And this one has 102. So 54 minutes were cut from that release to release this thing. And, well, it doesn't have the porno and the sex. But it still has a lot of nudity, yes indeed. And, it doesn't take away from that one. It is a lot shorter, so if you just want to watch the story of Caligula, then you can watch this one, and then you'll be fine if you're offended by the booby parts. Then I got this one, which I thought maybe was a different cut, because I do know that on Blu-ray, a Imperial cut was released. Yes, indeed. Haven't been able to find a copy of that. But the Imperial cut basically just adds a lot of... it puts back the porn into the movie, as far as I know, and adds a couple of deleted scenes. That's what I thought this was. Because this one is a white one as opposed to the other one I have. But, unfortunately, this one is the same running time of 102. So this is just basically this, re-released as this. So, yes, I need to get a copy of the Imperial cut that was released on Blu-ray. But people wanted to release a proper restored edition of Caligula as it was originally intended. So this big project came about to review over 96 hours of footage. And holy shit, 96 hours, that's insane. I mean, that movie is 156 minutes. How the hell did they record 96 hours of footage? Damn. That's a lot of film, let me tell you. But they painstakingly went through all of everything, got McDowell to come back, and he was the star. He was Caligula. So Malcolm McDowell came back, and he went over the footage with everyone, and he approved the scenes that he thought was best. And he has gone on the record saying the Caligula, the ultimate cut, is his preferred version because it showcases his performance better. Yes, indeed. And, again, I haven't been able to find a copy of this, but it was released on Prime, Amazon Prime, and I saw it. I saw it because I saw it was 3 hours long, and I was like, oh, geez, that's 3 hours. That's a lot of time. But I saw the Lord of the Rings extended, the 3 Lord of the Rings extended movies once. I can power through Caligula, and I did. And it's a way different experience. Supposedly, as the text says, that they used alternate footage from what was released previously. Unlike the Imperial cut, which just used already existing footage with deleted scenes and what they took out with the porn and what was already there, they built a complete version of this. But the ultimate cut is a complete version of made from scratch. They literally went with different camera takes, different performances, different scenes, a whole bunch of stuff that they just changed, and it's literally a brand new movie, following the original notes of that original project that was going to be done before they inserted the porn. And even then, I don't know what everyone was complaining about, because even with what was taken out as far as the porn, this movie still has a lot of boobies, which I like, a lot of butts, both male and female, a lot of wangs and ding-dongs and give a dog a bones, and a lot of bush, so it still has a lot of nudity, which is what you would expect in a period piece of ancient Rome, because they were a bunch of depraved people, yes indeed. I wonder if I would have done well back then. I don't know. But, it's a totally different movie. I mean, if you've seen Caligula numerous times, you'll be taken aback, because this is literally different. It's a different movie. It follows the same beats, but it also introduces new stuff that, like they have a rotoscope animated intro at the beginning that at first took me off. Like, what the hell is this? I don't remember this. Then that's right, it's a completely different movie. So it has a little rotoscope of young Caligula, Little Boots, dancing his little dance that he does, and then this funeral scene with the death of Caligula's father, who was heavily implied was poisoned by his grandpa, Tiberius, I think his name was, Tiberius Caesar, and it's a nightmare that starts the story, and it follows how Caligula is, for a long time, worried for his life, because Tiberius, wants to kill him, so that Tiberius' son will be able to inherit the throne. Because Caligula was next in line because of his dad, but because Tiberius killed his dad, he was kind of in the outs, and then his bloodline is the one that would continue. So the son of Tiberius is actually the uncle of Caligula? I think that's how it works. So he's like a nervous wreck, like, holy shit, this guy's gonna fucking kill me, unless I kill him first. And of course he has this whole incestuous relationship with his sister, which was a thing back then. They wanted to preserve the bloodline, so the kings would marry their sisters. It was a whole thing. And then he meets super sexy. Well, first they kill Tiberius, and then he usurps the throne. Then he kills his general, and they're like, well, I can't marry my sister, so I better find a wife to get an heir. And that's when we meet super sexy hot Helen Mirren. And oh boy, is Helen Mirren super sexy hot in this. My goodness gracious, there's classy and sexy. And my kind of lady right there. And, he forms this weird threesome with the two of them. One is his trophy wife, and the other one is his true love. And he's trying to deal it, but he's slowly going crazy, you see. And you would assume he would have that kind of thing would happen to anyone that, for the majority of his life was scared for his life because he had a crazy-ass, sword, nutso grandpa always threatening to kill him. And there is a scene in this where he actually would have killed him because he offers him a drink, and he's like, oh, no, first your son, and then the son is about to take a sip, and the grandpa's like, no, you don't want to drink that. Here, you slave, take that. And the slave drinks it and falls dead. And Caligula's like, this motherfucker, I knew he was going to kill me. So he becomes emperor, but he's slowly losing his goddamn mind. You see. And historically, the real Caligula, from what I've seen from documentaries, a lot of people in that era were a little crazy. But he actually tried to do something to improve the Empire of Rome. And in this one, at the beginning, he does seem to want to improve, but then he goes not so crazy with power, and then he gets bored with the responsibilities, and then he loses his sister, and that's what really kicks off his descent into madness. But it doesn't portray him as the nutball's crazy nut job that the other movies have. This one actually makes him look a bit more sympathetic, up to a point. Because there's one thing he does in the wedding that, you motherfucker, you crazy sick fuck. But, you gotta go on this journey with him, seeing how he started scared for his life, then he became emperor, and he looks like he wanted to do good. And then shit hits the fan, and he goes slowly insane. And the death scene of Caligula is also very different. But a whole bunch of stuff just changes. Because it literally is a brand new movie. And I highly recommend it. I know I mentioned this. Caligula is not for everyone. If you're a very sensible person, or you don't want to watch something that lasts 3 hours, this might not be for you. My only complaint about this particular cut is the music. I didn't much care for the score in this. The other one has a really cool intro. It was like, and really builds up into this really epic song at the intro, and it plays throughout the movie. This one's a little bit more mellow, a little bit more calm. It doesn't really have that oomph that the original version had. So my only complaint, I'm not the length, especially not the boobies. Oh my, the boobies in this is top notch. Yes, indeed. The acting is top notch. Malcolm McDowell, Helen Mirren, and everyone else in the supporting cast does a top notch job in the performance in this. And again, it's extravagant, it's over the top, it's depravity, but if the runtime is what might throw you off, because again, it's 3 hours, the score really doesn't really help because it's too calm, too mellow. It doesn't really help the runtime to have such a mellow score. But other than that, I do recommend you watch Caligula. Caligula is one of those movies that I do recommend everyone watch at least once to experience the epic depravity of ancient Rome and the time that it was made and all its excess and probably cocaine, not gonna lie. Probably a lot of people were doped up out of their brains when they were making this. But it's a time capsule of the kind of movies that were done at the end of the 70s, start of the 80s. Yes, indeed. So you have 3 options to watch Caligula. You have the original unedited, unrated cut at 156 minutes. You have the more digestible 102 runtime cut that basically gives you the gist of the story. Then you have the Imperial cut, which is just a more complex version of the other two. And you have the Ultimate cut, which is longer. It's a better told story. I will definitely say that. The Ultimate cut is a better told story. But it runs at 3 hours. And again, that score, to me personally, that score doesn't really help the pacing of the movie. Yes, indeed. But I still recommend you give at least one of those versions a watch. Yes, indeed. Have you seen any of the versions of Caligula? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's a crime against cinema that should never have been made? Do you think it is what it is. It's a movie that's out there, and it's something that you have to experience once in a lifetime. Let us know in the comments down below. But until I see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro thanking you, and wishing you all, like always, a good eve.